Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Agent Psycho, and today I'm bringing you guys just a bit of a review commentary. It's not really like a full review. I'm just gonna talk about what I feel are the goods and bads of this game that I've been playing, and it's called Dirty Bomb. You may have heard of it. And just to explain, Dirty Bomb is it's an open beta. Well, right now it's in open beta. Team-oriented first-person shooter that more or less it's on the same principles of Team Fortress 2, team-oriented first-person shooter that's really big on, teamwork, obviously, and everything that comes with the Team Fortress Style 2 game. It also is understandable that the same company or the same publishers, not publishers, what am I talking about? The same developers who brought you Brink, which is also a team-based first-person shooter game, is responsible for Dirty Bomb as well. So it kind of makes sense. They go kind of hand in hand right there. So without further ado, let's get started on talking about the pros and cons, I suppose. So, the pros, what I like about Dirty Bomb, obviously it's teamwork oriented. A lot of the first-person shooter games, if you guys don't know, I'm a really big guy on playing first-person shooters. First-person shooters are kind of my thing. I rarely really play any other game genre, I suppose you could say, because, well, I'm an FPS guy. There's really not much else to it. It's not that I don't like other genres. It's just that I think FPSs fit the bill for me the best. So teamwork orientation is something that I really like because a lot of the first-person shooter games that I play aren't necessarily too teamwork oriented. So being able to play a game where you really have to work with your team, make sure you watch each other's backs, and all that fun stuff is a nice change of pace. And for a game like Dirty Bomb, I think it does the teamwork aspect pretty well. That being said, you do need a good team composition, so your entire team can't just be all medics. I mean, you could win that way if the other team really sucked, but usually that's not going to happen. So being able to have a good team composition and everything like that, everything that comes with, like I said, everything that comes with with something that you would expect out of a team-based first-person shooter, Dirty Bomb has. So yeah, that's obviously really good for the game. And another good thing is that the game usually rewards the better team. The better team who have the more skilled players who know how to juggle their classes so that the team has a balanced composition, and there's not too many skyhammers on a team throwing down airstrikes every single minute, and there's enough medics. There's at least 2 medics on the team, everything like that. Usually if the team that manages those kinds of things and has a skill to back it up, usually they win. Very rarely will you find that teams who just have like a gimmick setup would win frequently. So that in that sense, Dirty Bomb has that going for it. And if you guys can't tell by the gameplay already, obviously Dirty Bomb has a very fast mobility style game. It's kind of like, I suppose I've never really played Tribes Ascend before, but I have seen a bit of gameplay from it. I mean, obviously they're not the same game, and the movement mechanics aren't necessarily the same. But the whole gotta go fast thing is definitely there is definitely here in Dirty Bomb. Everyone moves fast. Even the heaviest character, I think, or the heaviest merc, is Rhino, I think, because he's got that big old minigun. Even he moves around really, really fast, faster than what you would expect for someone like him if he's not carrying around his minigun all the time. And because of that, if you guys know me, I really love being able to move around really, really fast. Play a lot of combat arms, and combat arms movement is everything in that game as well, and especially in Call of Duty, especially in Advanced Warfare, where movement mechanics are everything as well. Things like that. Any first-person shooter that has really fast movement, I typically enjoy. So the fact that Dirty Bomb is really fast-paced, everyone moves around really fast, is really fun for me. It's just high-octane adrenaline rushes all over the place. So, gotta go fast. And speaking of which, speaking of gotta go fast, the medic class is, I think, or they're not really classes. The medic mercs like Ara and who's the other guy? It's the other black guy. I'm not trying to be racist, though, so don't even start to flame me on that. The Ara and the other medic, they're really really fast because they're a medic. They have low HP and they need to move around real fast to reach to people who they need to revive. So that's always great. And that goes without saying. Medic is my favorite sort of merc style to play. There's not really classes in Dirty Bomb, so I can't really call them classes. But being a medic is my favorite, and because no one else really likes being medic, apparently, I'm usually medic about 98% of the time. I do switch classes to Rhino or Skyhammer, depending on especially if I play Chapel. There is a chance that I'll switch to Skyhammer because airstrikes are pretty OP. So yeah, and Rhino's minigun is just terrible fun anyway. So yeah, and or I should say, best of all, Dirty Bomb is free to play. You don't have to pay a single cent for it. Maybe they might change it later because right now it's in open beta. But Dirty Bomb, as of right now, is free to play, and anyone can just if you have a Steam account, all you need to do is just download Dirty Bomb, and you're good to go. You can just play right there. Obviously, they do have a paid, like a microtransaction system within the game, but I haven't spent a single cent on it. It's kind of like Soulsfront 2, where you don't have to spend a single buck or cent on the game in order to have fun. It's the the mercs that are in free rotation usually will fit the bill pretty well, and you will get the game will just reward you with lots of in-game cash, I guess, and just free cases every once in a while. So I honestly don't think you really need to pay for Dirty Bomb unless you're like a really big fan of Dirty Bomb. You really start loving the game and you want to see what else you can get by paying a little bit of money. Then I mean, if that's your thing, then go right ahead. But if spending money is not your thing, then you don't have to worry about Dirty Bomb being pay to win or anything like that. And finally, I think Dirty Bomb is pretty addicting. I've been playing this game for about 3 or 4 hours every single day ever since I first downloaded it and started really getting into it. So Dirty Bomb is just a really really fun game for me right now because high octane speed, gotta go fast, team oriented gameplay, and Dirty Bomb just feels like a good game to me, and I really really like that feeling of playing a game that it's new and exciting, and something that I can sink my time into without really having to worry about oh, am I gonna regret putting so and so many hours into this game. So Dirty Bomb, good game, man. Now moving on to the cons, the things I have, the bad things I have to say about Dirty Bomb. Because of the whole team orientation aspect, Dirty Bomb is so focused on teamwork that if your team slips up like even a little bit, or if the other team has a little bit more teamwork than you, I mean obviously you can't really quantify teamwork, but if it's clear that the other team is supporting each other, having and showing more teamwork than your team, chances are they're gonna win 90% of the time, all the time. So it's pretty hard to win by carrying the team by yourself. I've had lots of games where I've outscored everyone else in the lobby, like everyone in the game on both sides, not just on my own team, by about 5,000 points being medic. And even then, I still lose because like in most first-person shooter games, if you only have one person who's doing all the work, typically you're not gonna win. That's just kind of the reality of first-person shooters. It doesn't have to be a team-based first-person shooter. It can be any first-person shooter, like Call of Duty. I can go 40 in something and still lose because everyone else is sandbagging. So the same goes for Dirty Bomb. Only the effect is more pronounced because obviously you need that teamwork in order to win games. And if your teammates are sandbagging in a game that requires teamwork, you're not going to go far. So it's really hard to carry teams by yourself. And if you're used to that, if you're a person who's used to carrying teams in games, you're not going to enjoy Dirty Bomb too much, because if you get into a lobby where everyone else sucks, then, well, you're not going to have a fun time. Let's just put it that way. I mean, that's kind of obvious for, I mean, everything that I just said right now may sound pretty obvious because, oh my, like, Dirty Bomb's a teamwork-based game. Oh my god, like, we so didn't know that. But, I just wanted to emphasize it for anyone who might go in thinking, oh, I can just beast on everyone and win every time. Anyways, so next thing I want to talk about are the explosives. So in Dirty Bomb, Nexon, the original publishing company for Dirty Bomb, back when Dirty Bomb was known as Extraction in closed beta, Nexon's always had a reputation for publishing first-person shooter games that feature really, really broken explosives. Like, I'm looking at Combat Arms mostly because I play that game pretty religiously, and in that game, the explosives are pretty broken, in my opinion. Dirty Bomb's explosives are nowhere near like Combat Arms level, where they just piss you off, but they're kind of irritating, and there's certain aspects about Dirty Bomb's explosives mechanics that kind of irk me a little bit. Like, for example, Nader. Like, Nader is one of the mercs that you can play in Dirty Bomb. Unfortunately, she's not, or I should say, fortunately, she's not in free rotation, because otherwise, if she was, everyone would be fucking Nader and nade everything with M32s, which would not be fun. So thankfully she is not in free rotation. Hopefully they never do put her in free rotation. Anyways, so like I mentioned just now, her special ability is to, I think, pull out an M32 and just lob grenades everywhere. And obviously those grenades do a lot of damage. They're not like instant impact explosion of grenades. They do kind of have to roll around for a little bit and then explode after like maybe a 2 or 3 second fuse timer or something like that. I don't know. But the thing about Nader that really annoys me, like everything else, everything about her is fine, okay. Like her role is to throw grenades everywhere. That's fine, because obviously you need some way of dealing explosive damage so that you can do crowd control. You can hold off choke points and things like that. The one thing that I hate about Nader as a merc is that she had her other ability is fucking martyrdom. Like, I'm sure all of you know what martyrdom is for Call of Duty 4 and Call of Duty, just the Call of Duties in general. Martyrdom, if you guys don't know, martyrdom is a perk in Call of Duty that basically lets your guy drop a live grenade when you die, and it blows up anyone who comes near you. And that's the whole point is to kind of, actually, fuck it. I'm not even going to try to pretend that I know what the point of martyrdom is. I don't know the point, and it's honestly stupid if I ever do find out whatever it is. Because my reasoning behind why martyrdom like that and why Nader's martyrdom is stupid, especially for a team-oriented game like Dirty Bomb, is because you are not supposed to be rewarded for dying. If there are certain things that you can do that your death would be worth it, but there should be nothing good that comes out of you dying in any game. Typically speaking, obviously, like you need to be able to. Your death needs to be kind of like a check on you, like saying like, oh, you should do this or you shouldn't do that. So if you have something that lets you blow up someone who just killed you, when you died, when you got killed. That's basically like rewarding you for dying, and that should never be a thing in any game ever. Well, at least not for first-person shooters. Maybe for MOBAs and maybe for what is it? Games like Diablo and other things like that. Maybe those can be a different story, and I'm not going to even bother commenting on that because I don't really play MOBAs or other games like that. But yeah, especially for it's not a good idea for first-person shooters, especially for Dirty Bomb where they have a downing mechanic. You know how in Gears of War, where if you shoot someone enough, they go down, and then you have to kill them to finish them off. Dirty Bomb is the exact same way, where you shoot someone enough, they go down, unless you hit them with a headshot, like nail them with a headshot with a sniper rifle or a shotgun. Then they won't even go down, just die. But most of the time, you're not going to do that. Most of the time, you're aiming for body shots or headshots, and even then, they'll still go down first, and then you have to finish them off with a knife or shoot them enough until they die, until they actually die. And for Nader, because she has the martyrdom perk, it's always a risk to shoot her, because if you shoot her and she's in a group of a lot of people, then she's gonna use her martyrdom perk and she's gonna blow everyone the fuck up. That's not good. That's not really. I think that's kind of a bullshit mechanic. For her to do that, if she were to have that removed, and and everything else stayed the same, then yeah, she'd be fair. Or maybe she had her martyrdom perk replaced with something else, and then I'd be okay with it. But as it stands right now, Nader's martyrdom is kind of bullshit, and I really want to see that removed because that's like I said, like I keep saying, it rewards dying, which should never be a thing, especially for a game like Dirty Bomb, where you have to go up to someone and knife them in order to finish them off. You don't have to, obviously, but lots of people do because it gives you a lot more EXP. Finishing someone off gives you a lot more EXP, I'm pretty sure, than downing someone does. So yeah. Also, I'll go on a little bit of a little tangent here about Fletcher, who throws grenades too. I think his grenades are instant detonation on impact, which again is not. I don't think it's too fair. I don't really know if I'm qualified to comment on this, but I'm pretty sure his grenades are detonate on impact. Which, if they are, that's also I'm not really too sure if I'm sold on that idea. I don't really like the idea of instant detonation grenades. Like that's a little bit, eh. Yeah, that's a bit too powerful. Anyways, so another bad thing about Dirty Bomb is that it's not like a flaw with the game itself per se, but it's more with the player base. No one wants to be the medic, and I say that, but now that I think about a lot of games, I've been in a team with at least one other medic. But back when I first started playing, when I was playing like Rhino a lot, I noticed that there were a lot of if a lot of my games, no one was a medic. Like either we had only one medic, which is not enough for a full 8v8 game, or 8v8 lobby, or just didn't have any medics at all. So that was kind of annoying to realize that no one really wants to be a medic. So I decided, you know what, I'll just be medic every single game, and we'll see how it goes. And during the beginning of the time when I was starting to play medic like all the time, I was almost always like the only medic on the team. And then now recently I've been noticing that more people on my team have been joining me on medic duty, which is always nice. Typically speaking, you always want to have at least 2 or 3 medics on each team. 4 is kind of pushing it, but 2 or 3 should be enough, depending on what the other team composition is like. But yeah, that's just a small problem that I've seen. Hopefully, it's not like a persistent problem, and hopefully people will realize that, hey, we need to have at least 2 medics on each team every single game. So yeah, that's just wanted to point that out there. Another small issue about the game is that Rhino's minigun seems to be a bit. It's not bit. It's really strong. Unlike other, it might be the same as Nader's ability where she pulls out the M32, but I've never played Nader before, so I don't know how her M32 works on like cooldown and stuff like that. But Rhino's minigun has no cooldown. You can pull it out whenever you want, and it has infinite ammo. And the only thing that's stopping you from spraying all over the place is the fact that the recoil spread or your hipfire spread. It's just a spread. Everyone hipfires. Fuck it. The spread, your crosshairs just get way too big after like maybe 3 or 4 seconds of spraying continuously, and your minigun can overheat, and it will suck when it does overheat. And I suppose that's the cooldown for the minigun, when you just overheat it, or when you reach its overheat state. But anyone who realizes, anyone who's good with Rhino knows that, you don't need to overheat the minigun. All you need to do is just spray for a little bit, let it cool down, spray for a little bit again, let it cool down, and then just rinse and repeat. And also, because the minigun is also pretty damn accurate for something like a minigun, you can actually just tap it, like just tap fire it with the minigun, like spray like maybe 2 or 3 bullets at a time, and you can melt people really quick with the minigun. And I'm not too sure if that's intentional, like they're gonna keep that mechanic or what, but it just seems a little bit strong. There are other things that are stronger, don't get me wrong, and I'm not trying to give the impression that I'm complaining about it. I'm just trying to point out that maybe there should be a second sort of cooldown timer for Rhino, or maybe if you add that, maybe give Rhino a second ability or something that he can use while his minigun's on cooldown. I don't know. The point is that Rhino's minigun is really strong. as of right now. I mean, maybe it has to be in order to, give Rhino a good place in the game. But oh well, I'm just trying. I don't know if that's really a huge concern as it is right now. It's definitely not right now, but I don't know what'll happen later on. But moving on. Anyways, next thing I want to talk about is diagonal strafing. So in Dirty Bomb, like I said, movement mechanics are everything. You move fast, you gotta go fast, everything like that. The one problem that I do have with the movement mechanics is the fact that strafing is really hard to do. Maybe this is intentional because in most first-person shooters I play, strafing is just as easy as moving forward and backward. But in Dirty Bomb, you can't strafe too well. Like if you sprint forward and you hold the A and W key or the D and W key to kind of strafe diagonally left and right, you can't. The angle at which you strafe isn't very easy. I'm thinking this is an intentional game design so that it won't be super easy to just strafe around, dodging bullets all over the place, like you're fucking Neo. So maybe this is intentional. It does get a little bit annoying though when I try to diagonal strafe. I try to diagonal strafe around like an obstacle, and I just end up running right into it because I'm so used to other games not having that much strafe stickiness. I don't really know what else to call it. But yeah, it is kind of annoying. I think it's too stiff. Maybe if you could control it in your yeah, in the controls, obviously. Maybe if you could kind of adjust that in the controls settings, then that'd be nice. But I don't think it's there. I haven't checked personally, but if it is there, then I'd be happy. But I don't think they'd have something like that, to be honest. And also, finally, this isn't really, again, this isn't really something against the game, but apparently the vast majority of people on Dirty Bomb really aren't that great at the game because I've been called a hacker a lot, and I haven't even been playing the game for a week now. So, yeah, I don't want to say that, I'm not gonna sit here and say that, oh, I'm such a good player, like I've mastered this game in less than a week. But I will say I have been top fragging a lot and being medic, and there have been a lot of times where the lobbies I'm in, someone calls me out and says, oh, you're a hacker. Look at your score. You're like fucking 6 and 6, and you have like 12,000 score, and you're a medic. Wow, what a hacker. Go to hell, faggot. And they just say things like that, and I'm like, well. I guess some things will never change, right? So, yeah, that's really all the bad things I have to say about Dirty Bomb. There's not really much bad about the game, just they could have a few things fine-tuned and tweaked a little bit, and everything would be perfect. But as it is right now, Dirty Bomb is a fantastic game. I highly recommend you guys play it if you guys are super into first-person shooters. So I'm really into it, and hopefully I'll be able to get you guys put out more gameplay of Dirty Bomb, of all the good games that I get, that I hopefully get anyway. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you guys later.